Hi, scholars. Welcome back to Writing with Miss Maxie. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and you're happy to be back at school. I know I'm happy to see all of your faces again. Let's jump back into our writing. So last week we finished up our Think It Through charts using details from the text. If you have not done that, go back and watch the previous videos until you're caught up and you're ready to continue with us. Today, we are going to begin by reviewing our steps with our friend Herschel. So everybody open up your books, your iReady books, to page 8 and 9. Page 8 and 9. So if you are on page 8 and 9, you should see our friend Herschel. He says, "Come with me on the writing path." We know that we've already completed step 1. We already did step 2. We already did step 3. And we are on step 4. It says, step 4, plan. Write time. Plan your writing. Use the information you gathered from the text to write about what you know. And that is exactly what we're going to do today. So let's see our I can statements. Feel free to read along with me as I go over these with you. I can organize the beginning, middle, and end of an informational paragraph, and I can complete a pre-writing organizer. So that is what we'll be working on today. And the materials you'll need today are, as always, your iReady writing books and a pencil and piece of paper. So take a minute, gather your materials, and when you're ready, unpause the video and we'll get started. Today, we are going to plan the organization of our informational paragraphs. You will use a chart to show what to include in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end of your informational paragraph. So let's look back at our mentor text, the one that Jaden wrote about the Oglala Lakota and what they wear and why they wear it, to help us figure out what we're doing today. So if you have your books, your iReady books, we are opening up to page 11, 11, and I'll show you what it looks like. This right here. Jaden wrote an informational paragraph telling what the Oglala Lakota people wear to a celebration. Let's read it. So this was our mentor text where Jaden talked about the Oglala Lakota and what they wear. And we had annotated this in a previous writing lesson. So you should have the beginning of his paragraph underlined in green, the middle underlined in yellow, and the end underlined in red. So thinking about the beginning, middle, and end is in Jaden's paragraph is going to help us in our own writing today. So you can take a minute to review what you'd underlined for Jaden's paragraph before moving on. And remember that it's always okay to pause your video if you think I'm going too fast or if you want a minute to review what we've learned in the past. So once you've taken a minute to review the beginning, the middle, and the end of Jaden's paragraph, we are going to move into our own planning. So let's turn our books to page 20. I'll show you what it should look like. Page 20. looks like this. It'll say step 4, plan in the top left, and then it will say modeled instruction. Jaden gathered information from his sources. Then he planned the details to include in his paragraph. So on this page, page 20 and 21, you see an organizer. This is the organizer right here, these boxes with the topic and the details. And organizers, like this one, help writers plan what they want to include in their paragraphs. So let's look at what Jaden put in this top box. Can you read it for me? Remember that you can pause your video, whisper the answer to the screen. That's right. You might have said that Jaden put the Oglala Lakota wear special clothes for a ceremony. And you're right. And where will we write about that? Where will Jaden write about that in his paragraph? Whisper your answer to the screen. That's right. He's going to write about it in the beginning. Okay, so to find some details, let's go back to page 11 and reread our mentor text, the text that Jaden wrote. So turn back to page 11. And I'm going to read this mentor text again, and you guys can follow along. So let's place our tracking fingers on the title right here where it says special. And here we go. Special Clothes for a Special Day by Jaden Cook. Do you have special clothes for special days? Every August, the Oglala Lakota people in South Dakota have a celebration. They dress like their ancestors. Ancestors are the people who lived before them. Their ancestors wore dresses, pants, and moccasins made from animal skins. Moccasins are shoes. The Oglala also wore clothes with beautiful beads. Some of the beads showed animals, some showed plants. The Oglala respect nature and their ancestors. They show this respect by wearing special clothing. So, turning back to page 20, let's scroll down. We are looking for details that Jaden included in the mentor text to add to our organizer. So one of them is already done for you. It says animal skin, clothing, and moccasins. And that was one of the details Jaden wrote about. So that's how we know we can add it to our organizer. What is another detail that Jaden included about clothing the Oglala Lakota wore for special ceremonies? Take a minute and think back to our mentor text we just read. Maybe flip back to page 11 if you need to read it again, or rewind the video so you can listen to me read it again and follow along, and come up with a second detail to place in our organizer. So feel free to pause the video and write down your detail right here in this detail box. And unpause the video when you're ready to continue. Okay, so hopefully you have gone back and found another detail from our mentor text. You might have a different detail than I'm about to write, and that is completely okay. But one detail that you might have included was clothes with beautiful beads, because that's a detail about the clothing the Oglala wore for their ceremonies. All right. So now we've seen how Jaden used the information from his paragraph to fill out his organizer. And now we are going to do the same thing to fill out our organizers and what we're going to write about. So first, let's review our assignment because it's been a while since we've been over it. It is on page 13 in your books. Page 13 in your books. It should look like this. Page 13, it says guided practice, and our friend Herschel is here saying, let's read and mark your assignment. Let's reread our assignment just so we're remembering what we're supposed to be doing. Write time, your assignment. How did the Powhatan people use natural resources? Read My Dad Lives History and Nature's Resources. Write a paragraph for your classmates. Tell about 2 resources the Powhatan people used. In the beginning, tell the topic. Give facts and details about the topic in the middle. Sum up the information at the end. Okay, so based on our assignment, what topic will you write about? You can whisper your answer to the screen. You might have said that you're going to write about resources the Powhatan used. And that's right, because that's what our assignment told us to do. So let's go ahead and add that to our organizer. We're going back to page 21, where our organizer is. Page 21, right here. And it says, use the organizer below to plan your writing. Write your topic in the first box. Well, we just named our topic. Our topic is the Powhatan people used resources. So go ahead, take a minute and write this in your book on page 21. And after you're done writing, feel free to pause the video if you need extra time. I want you to think, how will organizing your ideas help you when it's time to begin writing? How will organizing your ideas help you when it's time to begin writing? Take a minute, think about it, and whisper your answer to the screen. You might have said that organizing your ideas will help you when it's time to begin writing because you'll know what to write in the beginning, in the middle, and the end. If you already have it all planned out, it will be easier to write than going in with no kind of plan. So this is going to help us. Okay, so now I want you to take some independent time to fill out the detail boxes right here and right here. Remember that you can go back to your Think It Through on pages 18 and 19, right here, where it says Think It Through on page 18 and 19, to remind you of details that we've chosen to write about. You can use these. You can go back to the 2 texts that we've read. And just keep in mind that we're organizing the details that will help us when we actually begin writing our paragraphs. So pause the video, fill out your details, and when you're ready, unpause and we'll continue. Okay, so hopefully you've taken the time to go back and look at page 18 and 19 with our details, or go back to the text and find 2 details to fill out your chart. I'm going to give you an example of 2 details that you may have used, but it is okay if your details are different. You do not have to change them. These are just examples. So one example you could have put is corn for food and dolls, because that's one of the details we talked about on page 18 and 19. Another one you could have put is deer for clothes and tools, because that's another detail we talked about on page 18 and 19. Okay, so if you want to change your details, feel free to do so. You can pause the video or you can leave them as they are. That is 100% okay. And that is basically it for our writing lesson today, guys. All we wanted to do was be able to organize our information, and we've done that with our charts. So the only thing left I have for you, let me clear my annotations, is a quick little assignment. I want you to take your piece of paper that I said you would need in your materials and write a sentence for each of the 2 details you have written on your piece of paper. So look at the details you wrote and write 1 sentence about this one and 1 sentence about this one. So you have 2 sentences total. And that is all for today, guys. I'm excited to hear about the details you wrote and excited to keep writing our paragraphs in the days to come. So bye, guys, until tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.